Now, after reading the first part, we will continue this second part. I hope you have understood the first part. Now, we will continue. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope, that is, help from God. Solitary, SOLITARY. Solitary means lonely. In the hearts of all the members who lived in that lonely house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope. Single means only one hope, that is, help from Almighty, from God. Don't be so upset, even though this seems like a total loss. So after the hailstones, they lost everything. But said, don't be so upset, even though this seems like a total loss, complete loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say. No one dies of hunger. Okay. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope, that is, the help of God, whose eyes, as he had been instructed, as he had been told, see everything. Mean God see everything. Even what is deep in one's conscience. Conscience means that an inner sense of right or wrong, that is heart. So God could see someone's heart also. I mean, what someone is thinking, God could feel that also. Lencho was an ox of a man. Ox of a man means, ox means here very hard-working man, working like an animal in the fields, but still he knew how to write. Means he was a farmer by profession, but he knew how to write. The following Sunday, means next Sunday, at daybreak, means dawn, DAWN, or early morning, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town, from village to town, from valley town, and place in the mail. Means where you post the letter, mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. Means that was a letter to God. For what? To get help from God. Because he had a complete loss. Now, God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. My family and I will go hungry this year because his crops were ruined. I need 100 peso in order to sow my field again. So means to cultivate his field again and to live until the crop comes next year. Because the hailstones destroyed everything. He wrote to God on the envelope. Put the letter inside. He wrote to God only, no address, to God, and put the letter inside the envelope and still travel. Still he had problems, and then went to town. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter. He placed a stamp on the letter. He affixed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox, where you post the letter. Mailbox, kind of box where you just put the letter. So, mailbox. One of the employees, who was a postman, and also helped at the post office, went to his boss, laughing heartily, and showed him the letter to God. One of the employees of that office, that is postman, and he also helped Lencho to affix the stamp, to buy the stamp, in all these activities. So then after taking that letter, he went to his boss, that is the head of that office, laughing heartily. He was laughing loudly, heartily, very much, and showed his boss the letter to God, that letter. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. Means in his whole career, he did not know that address. Means no one knows that address actually. The postmaster, a fat, amiable fellow, fat, amiable means friendly and pleasant, become composed, and friendly fellow man, also broke out laughing, also started to laugh. But almost immediately he turned serious. Who? That postmaster turned serious, became serious, and tapping the letter on his desk, means keeping and then just patting on his desk, he commented, he said, "What faith? I wish I had the faith of the man who wrote this letter." He said, "I wish I had the faith. I might have the faith like that man who wrote this letter." Starting up a correspondence with God, correspondence, communication with God. That man is starting to communicate with God. So, in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, writer means writer of that letter, of Lencho's faith, okay, not to shake, not to break his faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. He had an idea. Answer the letter, means to answer the letter. But when he opened it, it was evident, it was clear that to answer the letter, he needed something more than goodwill, ink and paper. So to answer letter, you must need goodwill means kindness, ink to write, and paper. But he needed something more than that. What are these things? You will see. But he stuck to his resolution. Resolution means kind of decision. Okay, that is decision to solve something. Okay, he asked for money from his employees. He himself gave part of his salary, and several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. And his friends also agreed to do the charity, act of charity, that means donation to help others, charitable work. Okay. So he gave his part of salary, and his friends, other employees also obliged, agreed to give something, to donate something as a part of charity. It was impossible for him to gather together the 100 peso. It was impossible for him. So he was able to send it the farmer only little more than half. Half here is 50 peso, more than that, little more than that. It's not 100 peso, but something more than that. But half. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho, and with it a letter containing only a single word as a signature. It's God. So he put the money in the envelope, okay, with a letter containing only a single word. That is signature God. Then you will do this oral comprehension check. Means you will write down the, not oral, you will write the answers in a notebook. Next part. The following Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter for him. Next Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual. Usual means normal. To ask. For what? To ask if there was a reply of his letter. It was the postman, that postman himself, who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. From his office, he was satisfied. Why? Because he did something good. He gave money to that man. Okay, so means he was very much satisfied with his work. Right? Now, and he was experiencing that. And he was looking from his office. Now, Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. So when he opened the envelope, he got the money, but he was not surprised. Slightly. Such was his confidence. He was so much confident that he was not surprised. Means he was sure that he will get money. But he became angry when he counted the money. See, he was not surprised, but he was angry when he counted the money. God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. So, he was confident that God could not make a mistake, or nor he could have denied, rejected Lencho's request. Why was he saying this? We will see. Immediately, then and then, Lencho went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. Then and then, Lencho went up to the window to ask for one paper and ink. On the public writing table, there was a writing table. On that, he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow. Wrinkling of his brow means he was thinking. Okay, what to write? Caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. So he was thinking what to write, what to reply. That's why wrinkling of his brow. It means he was thinking. Okay. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp. Then he went up to buy a stamp, which he licked and then affixed on the envelope with a blow of his fist. Licked means just he passed his tongue over that stamp because he didn't have any gum or glue, so that's why licked the stamp and then fixed to the envelope with a blow of his fist. Blow means hit, HIT, of his fist. Fist means if you hold your fingers tightly, that is fist, mutti. So, blow of his fist. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. So then, after affixing the stamp, he posted. Then the moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. Means he wanted to read the reply, or he was probably waiting to get thanks from Lencho. But what happened? See, it said, God of the money that I asked for, only 70 peso reached me. Means, God, I asked you 100 peso, but you only gave me 70 peso. So, send me the rest, since I need it very much. So, I got only 70 peso, and now please send me the rest, means the 30 peso. say need it very much. I need the 30 paise very much. But don't send it to me through the mail because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. Lencho. He said, don't send me through post office. It's mail. Because post office employees, these employees are a bunch of crooks. Crooks means frauds. Means he thought they took his 30 peso. So he said, don't send me through this mail. See, these post office employees, they helped him. But kind of he was blaming the post office employees. And or he was commenting that they were crooks, frauds. Still, whether in your life, don't think twice to help others. You must help, and don't wait for the reply or the praise. That is your duty, moral duty. So here they helped Lencho, but he interpreted in different manner. So a letter to God. Actually, the theme is letter to God. To get some help. That is proved. Now you will do all the questions, and I will check when the school will reopen. Okay, class. Okay, students. Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you.